today. We're going from this to this, and it can do this. Over the past few weeks, I've been building up this Prado to be the ultimate budget overlander. And being a little bit OCD, I decided it was time for the Overland fit out in the back of the car. And I'm really excited to be sharing the 12-volt fit out. So let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to be doing before I get started with building the drawers is a false floor. So I'm actually going to basically cut out a floor in the same shape as the floor that gives me a flat deck to work off of. Get some timber and get cutting. All right, so I've got the front of the floor cut to size. It fits quite nicely. This really illustrates quite well one of the other reasons why I'm doing a false floor. There's a lip just here. Any drawer or anything that I put in here is going to foul on that lip. So if I've got a floor in here, then it allows me to get over that lip with any drawer I install in the back of the car. So what I have here is a store-bought single 900mm long drawer. The reason I bought this is it was on special, and it was actually cheaper for me to just buy the entire drawer than it was for me to buy a set of drawer runners. The system in the back here, as you've probably already seen, is going to be a single drawer on this side with a slide out fridge on this side. The first thing to do is to put this drawer in place, where it's going to live in the drawers. All right, so this is the drawer carcass of the set of drawers that I have. So how this works, you take this lid off, you position the drawer where you want it, which in this case is going to be there. You then mount the drawer in there. I don't mind these tie down point things, so I'll hang on to them. Currently have the drawer in here. It's just loosely in place, but it does operate. My false floor sits down here, and I just need to still make this removable. Then I have got an upright section of timber that is going to act as the right-hand wall of where my fridge is going to live. There will be a lid on this. This needs to be 450 high to be able to accommodate my fridge. Over here then I have the drawer, which is going to get a new deck on top, including a side wing, so I'm going to let it run right across. Fascia panel here somewhere. I need to find a bit of room to be able to install some of the monitors, so things like the battery monitor and the switch panel that I'll be installing. All right, so I've just mounted this slide on the side, so that's going to be one of the slides that holds the fridge in place. These slides actually come out of the Prado, so there was an old, like a radial drawer that the previous owner had built, so I basically just disassembled it and salvaged the slides off it. That's that side of the slide. I'm going to make it so that the slide sits hard up against, basically that's the back end of the slide, so the slide's going to sit here. We're at the next critical step of the install here. Over here we have the carcass for the drawer. That's still just held in by some basically by some timber screws. I've just taped that up there at the moment. I've actually pocketed out the locations of these bolt heads here so that I can just tighten that gap up there. And what I'll be doing is I'll drop some carpet in there so I don't get any vibration. The whole idea is that the left and right hand side are basically going to be independent of each other. The carcass for the fridge needs to be able to come out or go back in. Same thing with the drawer. And this is the fridge box built. So those are the two base plates for the fridge box. We've got the lid partially done. I'm gonna keep going and do a cutout for that. Then we've got a nice big storage hutch back here. In case you thought I had a workshop hidden away here somewhere, or let me show you. So I'm actually a stay-at-van dad. I'm currently looking after my youngest daughter, and I only get to work during her nap time. So it's a mad scramble when she wakes up because I just got to pack everything in the back of the car. Alrighty, fridge box, fridge slide are done, and my measurements were like really tight. So let me show you. Right, there's the fridge on the fridge slide. I've got the little latch in front here, and if we push this fridge back, I mean, the fridge is not straight, but it fits just. And we're not even halfway yet. Got it off. So we've got the wing here that runs up nice and tight at the end of the car there. That's carpeted. We've got the infill over here. That's also been carpeted. The top of this drawer has been redone, so that's a new piece of timber. When you see some of these cheaper drawers that have been used for quite a while, this front section seems to bow like that. So I've put in an upright, a vertical section here just to stiffen that a bit. So it's far stiffer than the original one was. We've recovered the front. I've just sprayed that. Just painted that bottom section black so that everything on the front here is black. I've taken that handle off because I don't love that handle. Black drawer, so that's everything on that side done. Then if you go over here, we have the fridge slide with the ancient fridge. We'll get to that in a minute. The fridge box here runs all the way up to the side, and I don't have a removable wing here, so this is all one solid section. And that actually gives me, really good amount of boot space up there. We've got this side wing over here, which is actually a little pull-out pantry. So I still need to sort out how that works. I might put a second little shelf or something in here. I'm not too sure. Some straps to tie things back, but I've got a little bit of extra room there now. All right, and that brings us to the main supporter for this video. That is aux beam. So aux beam is sent through this switch panel. So what this is it's a compact switch panel that you can install anywhere on your drawer system. This one is quite slimline and fits the front face of this drawer perfectly. You then wire everything through this control box, which you can mount elsewhere in the vehicle. Got to say, the aux beam stuff, this is the second piece of kit that they've sent me. The first piece is the spotlights on the Prado. A card will come up here somewhere where you can see the video where I installed that. That's what the inside of the control box looks like. Really well made piece of kit. Like, it feels really quite sturdy, and I'm going to have to run a cable chain to this drawer and then wire the control cable for this. Big shout out and thank you to aux beam for supporting this video by supplying this switch panel. If you want to shop a switch panel or spotlights or any of the other lights that aux beam sells, you can head on over to the link in the description or the pinned comment and grab yourself some of their gear. But before we do that, we are going to be addressing this ancient fridge. 40-year-old Engel fridge, and I paid $80 for it. Works on 12 volt and 240 volt. This fridge is going to be the Prado's fridge. It's old, it's 40 years old. I'm pretty sure that a lot of this is the original paint. Some of this looks like it's been painted with a paintbrush. We're just gonna give the old girl a bit of a touch-up before we install it. With the drawers built, this is going to be the main install area for the 12 volt setup. I'm going to use this back section of this cabinet of the fridge box to install my electrical gear. So I've left a little bit of a recess here. Unfortunately, the battery doesn't fit there, which, by the way, I'm giving the King's lithium battery a go. The 60 amp hour might sound like a pretty small battery. It is. It would still give me more usable amps than an old 100 amp hour AGM battery or flooded battery. The only thing it's running in here is the fridge and some lights. The battery is going to go here, just there. I'm just going to fix it to the floor with some straps. Alrighty, so we have all the devices in their locations, plus we've got the battery tied down. It's just simply a matter of wiring everything up. It's nighttime. This is one of the only times that I really get a chance to work. So there's been a little bit of a change of plan. I'd initially said I was going to mount both the battery monitor and the switch panel in the fridge slide. I've actually changed my mind about that a little bit. Is mounting the switch panel down here in the fridge slide. It goes on the same cable chain as the fridge's power cable. And then up here we've got the battery monitor. So both move with the drawers that they're attached to. That now means that I've got the battery monitor up there and the switch panel down there. Most of the wiring has been done. It still looks a bit of a mess, and that's because I haven't wrapped and tied up everything yet. I'm just letting everything test out before I go and wrap everything up and call that done. Looking at it from the back here, we've got the battery monitors in there, and that's working. We have the aux beam panel just here. I've hooked that up for things that are still getting installed. Floodlights, I'll get to that later. And then we've got this switch here for interior lights. Of course, I'm not getting any work done right now because I've got a baby hanging on to me. Basically, I'm calling the drawers and the install there 90% done. I'd call that a draft of what it's going to be. The next bit, and the bit that's going to top off this job, the back door. That's valuable real estate when you're doing the fit out in the back of the Prado. I don't have a table, so I'm really partial to having a good table. We are going to be modifying this back door to comprise of a table. The first job, to strip this all off, get it all out of the way so that I can start planning out what I'm going to be doing here. So one thing that's been done here that I really don't like is they've run this wiring outside the sleeve and just left it loose there. So all that's going to do is just let dust in, so we'll fix that up before we close this all up. Here we've got, so that'll be power, and that would be the video for the reverse camera. Don't be this guy, don't do this. I've cut out the panel for the back door. Before I fit that to the car, I need to insert these. So these are known as riv nuts or rivet nuts. It basically creates a captive nut inside a blind hole. Previous panel attached with plastic clips, I can now attach with bolts. So I can actually bolt my panel to the back door so that I can then attach things to that panel. So it's nighttime and it's baby sleep time yet again. I'm up to this point with the back door panel. So I've got the handle on, I've got the little door on for the washer bottle refill, and I've got all the bolts in place. So all the bolts that are going to hold this panel in place are affixed to the door. It's really, really sturdy. And the nice thing is now it gives me a base to work off of. The next thing I'm going to be doing is attaching the table. So I'm going to get on with that now. And here we have it, This is the completed overlanding fit out in the back of the Prado. So starting over here, we've got the fold down table. That bit of shock cord there is to pull these cables in so that they don't foul when the door closes. And then I've just coated it with this sort of hard wearing paint here. And then on this side, we've got the drawer slide. So this goes in and out. And like I said, this is going to be, this is removable. So you take out a couple of bolts and this whole side comes out and you're left with the battery and the fridge box and vice versa. All right, then over here, we've got the fridge box. So starting at the bottom, fridge slide, that pulls out nicely with my ancient fridge that's been resprayed, and the aux beam panel down here. Head on down to the description and you can get one of these for 15% off. And then over here we have the pantry slide. So I've had to move the battery monitor down from where I had it previously because this fold down table would actually hit that monitor if I'd left it there. So I've just moved that down. And then up here, I've got this lovely flat deck. Planning to put a fridge barrier in at some point because then it just makes this space a little bit more usable up here. All right, and then we've got the 12 volt fit out. So over here we have the aux beam panel. We've got the battery monitor here. We've got this remote. So this remote is the remote for the aux beam switch panel. Pretty handy when you go jump in your swag and you forgot to put the lights off. I didn't think I'd like this. So I did not think I'd like this remote as much as I do. But now that I've used it a little bit, I'm sorry I don't have one in the 300 series. And then in addition to the aux beam switch panel, we've also got the OEM style switch up front on the dashboard for putting on the floodlights as well. And if you have enjoyed this video, please smash that subscribe button or check out one of our other videos. See you next time.